grievance is challenging the widespread use of temp workers to perform our work. Now, the HHC claims that they use temp agency workers to fill in for someone who's out for medical leave or child care leave or whatever the case is. Short term. Which to some degree may be fair in the sense that we wouldn't want a person to be permanently replaced if that worker is expected to come back. Our concern is that this use of temp agency workers has become so widespread that these people in effect become permanent workers and are not there to replace a temporary absence of another worker or temporary leave, and just simply become part of the department. Now, in doing so, the HHC has managed to avoid hiring more people who are in the bargaining unit. So of course that dilutes the union's power, because now in some departments we have like only a third of the staff are actually members of our union. So in Harlem Hospital, in the respiratory therapy department, I'm sure you're familiar with the affiliates. Bellevue is affiliated with NYU. Harlem used to be affiliated with Columbia and is now affiliated with an agency called Physicians Affiliate Group of New York, which is also the affiliate for some other HHC facilities. So a third of the unit of the department is our members, employed directly by the city. A third of the department is affiliate employees, employed directly by the affiliate. And a third of the department are temp agency workers. And so that adds up to about 16 respiratory therapists at Harlem Hospital are working on a regular basis for, in many cases, more than 2 or 3 years. And we certainly do not have 16 members who are out on leave of one sort or another. Okay. That's the situation. We believe that this is not just at Harlem Hospital, but of course at Bellevue, at lots of facilities all around the city, and that this is over a long-term strategy to basically bust the union. So the grievance is on a couple of grounds. There's one grounds that says that the bargaining unit for all HHC titles is us. Anybody working at HHC who's under that title should be us. We're recognized as the collective bargaining agent, as the union for these types. And HHC says, well, they may have a title at respiratory therapy, but even though they work at Harlem Hospital, they're not Harlem Hospital employees. They're employees of the temp agency. We think that there's grounds to challenge that because they're kind of like long-term temps. They in effect become employees. Another grounds is that that they have there's a memorandum of agreement between well, it's actually a memo from Aviles to the executive directors and such, saying that temp workers should not be used until all other means of providing adequate staffing have been exhausted. So that is a memo from last year sometime, and it specifies respiratory therapists. So per diems and overtime are specifically mentioned in it, that they should be using those two means of obtaining adequate staffing before hiring temp workers. So in respiratory therapy at Harlem Hospital, we have members who would like to work overtime and are able to do so, and are told, oh no, that's okay, we're going to get an agency worker to do it. So that's another grounds for this grievance. And we had the step 2. It's a group grievance, so we had went directly to step 2 grievance. We had that hearing today, and HHC basically said what I said. They're not really our employees, so thanks but no thanks. Goodbye, and that's it. They also, interestingly enough, claimed that there are no temp workers in any of our titles at Bellevue, which is very interesting. And then they said, oh, yeah. And then they said, well, actually, that's because we can't tell you what happened historically over the last year or 6 months, like in the past. We just ran in our HR system. We just ran the number. We just ran a little search for temp workers. Once you filed the request sometime in November. And we didn't find any.
That's because after the storm.
Well, that's funny because after the storm, you avoided paying them by just not telling them to come to work. rather than reassign them. Okay, so
By the
this
way,
is
they tried to redeploy them until somebody figured out it was a waste of money.
right.
Yeah.
So this is exactly like they're like, oh, that's very cute. I don't know. When they said that, I felt like it was very cute.
Just one person.